out. I want you to push it out like you've got eyes in the back of your head. And I'm going to hold my hand up again. And go. 3, 2, 2, 3. Put your hand up, you said 2. Put your hand up, you said 3. Good job. So when you're guessing it or feeling it, or let's say you're not guessing, you're feeling it, I want you to remember that strategy that you've used to feel that, to connect with that. And now I'm just going to be quiet, and I want you just to connect with that peripheral vision and push out the gaze and map out the room, like again you've got eyes in the back of your head. Don't you go turn around, you can see what's behind you, you can see where I'm standing, you can see where Adam's standing, you can see where Albie's standing, you can see where Maya is, where Jordan's sitting. While you're in that gaze, I want you to, there is no try, I want you to think of something negative. And see if you can. Or you might just find that you're numb. Strategies or important points that you've learned and that this will be useful obviously throughout the retreat, in your own life, basically just to keep you calm, direct your attention towards it, anything at all. So when you're ready, you can sit down and just be with yourself for 2 minutes and write some points that are going to be useful for you. Who wants to give some feedback on that?
That was amazing. Yeah, well, the way I was able to focus, you know, it started off cloudy and then it just became, I was really able to hone my senses in on that dot.
Yep.
And as you spoke, once you get surrounded,
Yep.
you know, it's spread out. And having a 360-degree view of the room,
Yep.
it was almost precise. Like I could picture what was behind me, the books, what was on the bench up here, you know, and I could almost feel where you were in the room for the sound of your voice.
Yep.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Because what people don't know and love, like obviously quantum. Do you guys know much about quantum field or quantum linguistics? It's like we're made out of particles of light. If you break down our atoms and our neutrons and just keep going up, you know, I'm not a scientist, I'm not going to, you know, but if you keep going down to like the purest molecules, we're all made out of light. And there's information all around us. And by taking our gaze out, and obviously through energy, through vibration, it's like a speaker. And you know, through that different energy involved. So you think that it's your vision that you're putting out, but it's actually you know, not transcending, but it's you putting out that energy. So you've got to make connections to energy. So when I'm putting my hand up, obviously my mind's sending a message to my hand, sending that out, and then that's putting a ripple through whatever, you know, through the matrix as they call it. So like everything is like, you know, sometimes your attention will get drawn to something, and you're like, am I hearing things? That's because you're becoming more aware, you're becoming more conscious of things, and it's like you sometimes hear your name, or you feel like you're seeing shit, but you're like, come on, I'm losing myself. So we'll get into a little bit later towards the end of the retreats, matrix energetics, and some of the stuff that I saw was just ridiculous. That you know, this man is tapped into a service or a source that he can, he knows exactly, like you can, oh, you know, when you think about your shoulder. This lady was up there, he knew that this lady had a car accident when she was 18 years old, and every time she thought of her shoulder, she thought of it because her dead boyfriend died. So her mind, like him, she would go out of her body, but he would be able to pick out if you've got a blood condition. He'd be able to correct you like physically, like a chiropractor, and not even touching you 20 meters out, because it's all information. Everything that's running through our body, it's a computer program. Yeah, so it's like a nervous system, and it's these programs that are, you know, making a stand or whatever, or you know, like or whatever it is. The other day, almost broke my wrist, you know, doing some stuff out there. But then obviously that system that's going through all that strategy is obviously telling my mind it's supposed to be sore. But if you keep going, oh, it's sore, what are you doing? You're reinforcing that, and so on. So it's like, you know, if you're feeling tired, if you say, oh, I feel tired, you feel tired. But if you get yourself up, doesn't matter if you haven't slept for 5 days, I'm sure that you can still get yourself in this state. Obviously, yes, physically and mind, some people go, oh, but what about you need to sleep? Yes, physically you need to sleep, you need to produce growth hormone, you need to recover, you need to do all the stuff how the body needs to recover, because we aren't machines. Well, I think we are. You know, so you need to be smart. Like I always say, push yourself smart, but your body's telling you to listen to your body as well. You know, if you need to have a power nap, you know. Where your attention goes, information flows. So be mindful of it, yeah? Hey, Joe, okay? Yeah?
Yeah, just
what are you feeling and seeing in your eyes is
just get inside yourself, just blocking everything else out, just focusing.
Yeah. How did you go with that? Because you seem different after you've done it.
I'm not one or two, right? Yeah, well, I can picture the room around me, and just like I said, no negative thoughts. Just concentrating.
Yep.
Full concentration.
Yep.
Nothing else matters.
It's very important, like in so many different ways, when you go into an environment, to know where the exits are, to know if there's going to be, you know, someone that's a threat that's got bad energy. So since I've been doing this, I really connect with people's energy. I even remember, like, you're going to somewhere and I wouldn't want to sit in a restaurant because you know someone's energy, you know, and it's just like someone's up to them. But I remember even when I used to PT people, and I was in the gym and we went somewhere. This was back in Melbourne. And like I didn't want to train next, I said, look, we'll go and do squats at this power rack. They go, why? And I said, oh, I don't know, there's just the energy from this guy. You know, and I remember even because I was obviously practicing the Hakalau, and I went to go over to the other squat rack, but my vision that was, I knew exactly what he's doing, how much weight he had on and all that. And then I was just getting that feeling from him. 2 seconds later, he started just punching on. You know, he just with this guy, because you could tell that he just had that bad energy. Someone went to ask him something, and then it was on for young and old. And then they go, how the fuck did you know that was going to happen? I said, well, I didn't know it was going to happen like that, but it just felt that way. When I first met Regan, it was really funny. And this was part of a little bit of bodyguard work, but she was, so say she was sitting there, and she thought I was either paranoid or checking out other girls, like she'd be sitting here, and I'd be doing that, and like going around and seeing who's around me, because I had to, like you wanted to see what's going on, you needed to know what's going on, what's happening around. It wasn't that I was particularly doing it, I was mapping up the room. So when you do this, it's just great that will happen automatically. So even when I was talking to you guys, and then I said, where is everyone? I knew where Alvy was, I knew where Jordan was, I knew who was standing there, and it automatically happens. And you have to pay it respect, because you might think, okay, yeah, cool, I know where everything is and all that, but it's a really, really good tool to have. But the peripheral vision is the bonus, but by looking at that, it gets your attention aware, like you can look at it, then you get your gaze, and then it just blocks out all the scatter, and then you can, okay, if you've got a negative thought, could you guys think of anything negative when you're doing it?
I couldn't hold anything negative. I was still being wide edge thinking of anything negative stuff. When I did, it just, it was inevitable. There's no way I can concentrate on it.
Is that with everybody?
Yeah, I found I would focus on it, but eventually disperse.
Yeah.
I couldn't hold it,
Couldn't hold it, yeah. And the more you use, what about you, Lee?
Yeah, I could grab it, but it wouldn't stay there.
Yeah.
Just keep focusing on the dog.
Awesome. So obviously that's the first time, and that's already shown. So the more we're going to practice it through it. Some of the guys I remember at the last retreat, you couldn't as well. I know a couple of the other guys didn't do it. Or you hadn't done it before.
I just did it then, and the experience that I had.
Oh, I could see it through your energy, yeah.
It was something else. I was actually seeing visions up there.
Cool.
And
Almost like that in the aura, really.
Yeah, sometimes it glows when you come up.
moves
around.
and white, and then it was almost like the wall became see-through, and I could see trees and stuff through there. And in between the walls was like these black veins that started throwing, and I would feel like all I needed, and like I was almost going to get my guts up, and I was like, oh, I've got to leave this space.
Yeah.
And then Myers sort of pointed out that I've got something that I need to release. And
Yeah.
so it's something I'm still holding on to. So I've got to release that one. So
That's what it's about. Look, people think it's, even with the brothers being in the leaders and that, and even with me going and teaching it again, because it's completely different. You're all so unique and so special. The way we're teaching the experience is always different. You can teach it 100 times, the same stuff, but it's everything's going to be different. The energy, the way you guys are, and it's unique. That's why it's so special. Like, you think you have a breakthrough after this, we all fucking love it. It's good stuff. So what we're going to do again, we're going to give you a few tools, to start off with. It's going to match. Obviously, we're not going to get into keep that state of feeling in a state of grace, which we're going to get into. So what we're going to do, you guys are going to be sitting in your chairs. You probably the majority of you through the beast end would have gone through the state of grace, dropping out of your head and so on. Obviously through that, this is going to be the detailed version of it. This is something what I learned from the Matrix Energetics about dropping out of your head and coming from your heart center. But once you really start coming from your heart center, some real fucking amazing things start happening. You get clarity. You start speaking your mind, like you say, I just want to fucking just be me. The way you express yourself, the connection you have with people is just spot on. The message that you're getting across, it just gives you clarity, certainty, power. Any other words would you guys say? What would you say?
Conviction.
Conviction. Yeah. Yeah. I find, even it doesn't really matter how much work we do. There's always going to be programming that we always need to be getting better. And I find coming from my heart center, it's just that maybe that nervousness, being nervous or being unsure of myself. And it's just like, because we all got to get it. It doesn't matter like how much we show up. We're always going to be like, oh, there's just some sort of that limiting belief. But to a point, when I get into my heart center, it doesn't matter who's there or what's happening. I'm always just, fuck it, I'm on. It's hammer time. So that's why this is important. We're going to do it a few times today. We'll try. Today we will do it 3 times, and we want to really be certified, and then throughout the retreat we just want to smash that, because what I'm finding again, if you do it once, the guys are getting a bit of it, but I really want you to, the way really use it and abuse it while we're here at the retreat. So get into sit in your chairs, get relaxed, and get you close your eyes, listen to my voice. I'll lead you all the way through it. And again, the more you play full out, the more you take your mind away from the scatter or or anything that's not serving you, the more you make this real, because it is real, the bigger the result. This exercise is important to know. When you can drop out of your head and go down into your heart center, it will switch off the left side of your brain to allow your subconscious to run freely. You will then have access to the quantum field, which will give you complete access to your limited potential from shifting your mindset into taking action and getting amazing results. Even increasing your lens of awareness to look at the world and deal with it much more openly. Having this heightened awareness, you will achieve anything you wish and desire in your life. Breathe in. On the exhale, simply relax your physiology. Drop your shoulders and allow your awareness to relax into the center of your being and your physical body. Notice the calmness and stillness and the absence of thought. From this space, notice what you notice. What information begins to will up in your inner being? What information begins to well up in your inner being? Now, ask an open-ended question. Like, what would I notice if I were to allow my awareness to move back into my heart field? Or where am I in relation to the field of my heart? Now I want you to follow that awareness and connect to it. From this space, notice what you notice. Just let it be. Consider that the heart field, or the state of grace, it's an electromagnetic field, and it's the first thing that pops through quantum field. Therefore, you are always in your heart, and your heart is always in you. Awareness is what moves us in and out of Renaissance with your heart space. Consider the field of your heart is what you are. Now, I want you to imagine elevator, that elevator. See a miniature version of you stepping into an elevator door and then allow it to close in your mouth. Now press the down button. Follow your awareness as the elevator descends out of your head, down through your throat, and into your chest cavity. When you step out of the elevator door into the space of no space and no place. as your chest cavity is open and you step into the place of no space and no place, I want you to take a moment now to feel into someone or something you love. And I want you to double that emotion. Triple that emotion. Keep pushing that emotion of someone that you love, and I want you to feel it like it explodes out of your chest. And I want you to feel that connection. With that state of love, that state of grace, think of anything that's dark around you, and I want you to, like a bright light, whatever it needs to be, I want you to explode that out of your chest, to push all that negativity away. Just explode it out of your chest. That's it, push it out. And feel that connection. And notice how powerful that is, and how powerful you've always been. You're just remembering. Notice the feeling and allow that feeling to move through your entire body. Pulsate through your entire body. And believe it, just push that through. Whatever looks to you, a hot beaming white light. Just pulsate that through your body. Now I ask you, invite that feeling to the center of the torsion field of your heart, then ask to speak to it. What is it saying to you? What do you say back to it? Recognize that the field of the heart is connected to everything and everyone. You're one with everything and everyone. Notice your awareness that you are not separate, but just a separate body or being. Now, I want to see and make yourself look like you're a vitamin C tablet, like dropping a vitamin C tablet into a glass of water, but you're dropping yourself through your awareness and feel it within your sense of separation. So you're just breaking up into millions of pieces. And notice when, as you explode out to millions of pieces, that you have always been connected to everything and everyone. All it is just energy. Notice the feel, a sense of dropping and expanding out at the same time. Dropping and expanding out. Notice that you can hear the trees breathing, the birds chirping, the insects talking to you, the grass growing. There's no separation between you and everything else. You are present in here now, and you're also present everywhere. You are present in here now, and also present everywhere. Ask your heart what it will tell you if you were to listen to it now. Ask your heart what you need to hear. Keep asking. Heart, what do I need to hear now? How can you guide me? What information do I need? What strategies, what thought patterns, what energy do I need for me to move forward in my journey. Go and ask harder, ask your heart. It always has the questions. Ask it. What do I need to know? And you'll be surprised to know that you've had the answers all this time. Notice that the constant flow of thoughts in your brain and awareness, and without attaching to them, what I want you to do now, these thoughts, the less thoughts that you have in your head, the more you can listen to your heart. The less thoughts you have in your head, the more you can listen to your heart. And just notice what that feels like and what it sounds like. And I want you to see your thoughts as clouds floating by. Don't force them away. Just notice that they're there, flapping away in the wind like a kite, or floating by like a cloud. Do not attach to them. Observe them naturally, with a sense of curiosity and without judgment, keeping yourself in a state of heart-centered awareness. And notice the sense of peace. Notice the sense of certainty. Notice the sense of power, clarity, and conviction. Now, I want you to pay attention to your genuine desire. What are you desiring right now? What are you searching for? Coming from your heart field, I want you to take your awareness and find out all the answers. What desires? What are the answers that you've had for you all this time? Desires are actually language of the heart speaking to us. Desires are the language from the heart which is actually speaking to us. When we listen, we move into flow. When we listen, we move into flow, where our desires become manifestation and experiences. When we listen, we move into flow, where our desires become manifestation and experiences. I want you to trust yourself. I want you to trust yourself. One way to notice, speak and listen from the heart is to start trusting in yourself. The more you develop the sense of trust in yourself, the more your heart will lead you and navigate you into a higher consciousness. So trust yourself. The more you resonate with trust, the more your mind will follow your heart's intelligence. The more you resonate in trust, the more your mind will follow your heart's intelligence. Let go of all sense of not being in the heart. Notice everything is right, everything is easy, everything is effortless. Now I want you to remember something. The thought of a problem can only be a problem if you think about it. Ask yourself, if I knew what I might notice where I was to listen to my heart, regardless of what anyone else might suggest, what methods of dropping into my heart might I discover? Ask yourself, if I knew what I might notice where I was to listen to my heart, regardless of what anyone else might suggest, what methods of dropping into my heart might I discover? Now I want you just to take your awareness wherever it goes. By dropping into your heart center, I want you to connect with what's different. And I want you to get familiar to what's different. And I just want you to think about, in life, once you go back home, by coming from this space, this place, what's going to be different? How are you going to show up? How is it making you feel? Just take your awareness there. When you're ready, you can open your eyes. You can write some points